Hello and welcome to another episode of Fanboy Talks. Today is more news. I'm guessing you guys knew that already since this is a news show. So yeah, thanks for coming by. My name is Vaughn Hyde. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Hyde Legion if you want to talk to me outside the show. But for our first story today, I'm heading over to GameSpot and basically pretty much everywhere else. YouTube, IGN, everybody has this story, and it's that Rage 2 was actually confirmed by Bethesda. Not only did it receive an official launch trailer, but today, as of recording, this is the 15th, it also got a gameplay trailer, which is really cool. It features a lot of over-the-top action, very similar to the most recent Doom game, which is really awesome. There's actually a reason for that. It is actually being co-developed in a way, I guess, by ID or id Studios and Avalanche. So actually, those are the studios that made the most recent Doom and made the Just Cause series, which really makes me wonder whether the whole like Walmart leaks and Just Cause 4 was on there, what's happening with that. But everyone's 100% certain that id or ID Studios is working on Doom 2 since it was a massive success, so it's possible that both are working on other things as well. So I'll keep you guys updated, see if anything happens. That's like a weird me seeing into just reading between the lines kind of a thing though. I definitely recommend actually checking out this gameplay trailer. It looks really cool. I guess this setting is essentially after a meteor destroys 80% of the world's population. I never really played the original Rage, which I'm going to rectify soon. I mean, I'm excited. You've got these two studios that have really awesome games under their belt. Mad Max, the Just Cause series, also the most recent Doom. So I'm really excited. The shooting in it looks awesome, and it's got a lot of really cool abilities. A lot of people are actually speculating that Rage 2 is actually taking a lot of the steam that Borderlands 3 would have gotten if it would have been released already. So, I mean, that's kind of depressing. I'm still going to be excited for Borderlands 3, even though Rage 2 was announced. It's going to be supposedly coming out on PS4, PC, and Xbox One in spring 2019. If you guys want more information on this, I'll link to the article from GameSpot below, as is everything I talk about in today's episode. And also, if you guys want a little bit more news on Rage, with E3 coming up soon, Bethesda has announced that it's actually going to be featured in their E3 conference, so you could just watch that. You can live stream it. You fucking IGN does a stream for it. Kinda Funny does a stream for it. Everybody does a stream of E3. And interesting enough, E3 is coming around, so there's a lot of speculation, so I figured I'd just get this right out of the way real quick. I'm gonna try not to report on rumors as much, just because it's kind of hard to keep up to date on all these rumors, and it is just rampant speculation. Everybody's like, oh, maybe Retro Studios is making this Star Fox racing game in the vein of Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart and all sorts of stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's really cool, and I'd love to talk about it, but also it's not necessarily confirmed. It's not a fact. It's just a rumor. So I'd like to only talk about the real stories for right now. And I know you're probably like, oh, Vaughn, you talked about how Rage 2 was speculated. Yes, I did talk about that, but it was actually because of a larger story where Walmart leaked a bunch of titles. Yes, I did get into the whole like rampant speculation and was like, oh, Rage 2, yeah, it's probably gonna happen, especially with what Bethesda was doing at the time, and Just Cause 4 would be cool, and there was a bunch of other titles there. Gears of War 5 would be cool, but I'm going to try not to add to the massive hype train and the rumor mill too much, so I'm mostly just going to focus on actual stories with actual sources and actual endings. So if you guys haven't heard already, I would definitely check out this article. It's Boss Key Productions shuts down Radical Heights server, will remain online for the near future. It's over on IGN. It's written by Tom Marks. So this is kind of depressing. Bleszinski, Cliffy B. If you guys didn't know, this is his studio. He recently worked for Epic. I believe he was the creative director on several of the games, or he was like the creative head. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of an idiot. He's responsible for a lot of what Gears of War became, and he is actually responsible for Lawbreakers and Radical Heights, two games that were, from what I understand, actually really decent games. I don't play a whole lot on PC, so I wasn't able to play them. But from what I understand, they were actually really good games, but they just didn't gain steam, especially with Overwatch being such a huge thing. There were small games that ended up living like Paladins, but it's slightly different from Overwatch. So, I mean, it makes sense, but doesn't make sense. Hero shooters, it's kind of hard to compete with Overwatch. And sadly, Lawbreakers did not. And with Radical Heights, apparently it was too little too late. Cliff Bleszinski took to Twitter to essentially say that they are shutting down and he is focusing on his family, which is really nice, and he's not going to be worried about developing games for right now. But also, it seems like the servers for Radical Heights aren't going to be shutting down immediately, so that's pretty cool. So anybody who spent money on the game didn't just get like a month and a half of playtime out of it. They actually get to play for a little bit longer. So this is kind of depressing. It's always really sad to hear about studios closing down or layoffs, which happens so often. It's just kind of the cycle of the games industry. But this is an entire studio closure, which really sucks. It hasn't happened a lot recently, but I know it happens all together. So just all together, thoughts and prayers to the mighty spaghetti god for you guys. I don't really know. You guys are obviously going to land on your feet. You guys made 2 really good games from what I understand, and they just didn't catch on, so obviously they're going to land on their feet. They're a bunch of talented people. But after all of this news came out with the closure of Boss Key, Cliff Bleszinski actually released a bunch of great ideas that were just scrapped because of the closure of Boss Key. This is from an article over on Kotaku written by Luke Plunkett. If you guys haven't noticed, you're just going to have to awaken to the sad reality that I'm never going to pronounce names correctly. So this article is essentially all about the really awesome or really odd game ideas that Boss Key Productions ended up, they might have possibly done, or what they were planning on doing. A lot of them look really, really cool. There's a lot of really awesome art in this article. Definitely make sure you guys check it out. My favorite of the 3 is actually Dragonflies. It's a super weird Shogun punk, I guess. Anybody knows about that. Is essentially like airships, but with dragons, and it would be like a four-player PvE like RPG where it's fucking samurais and dragons and shit. It looks really, really cool, or it looked really, really cool from this concept art. Sadly, we may never actually see this come to fruition. I don't know. Somebody takes these ideas and makes it real, especially because the game I was looking forward to that was similar to this, because I'm a huge kaiju fan, fucking Scalebound was canceled last year, so that's depressing. If there was one game that I could make on my own and it would actually be great, I would make Scalebound, or I'd make a better Fable game. Okay, I would make a lot of different games, but still, Scalebound was a really depressing announcement for me last year. And I mean, Dragonflies would have been really, really cool, but there are also 2 other games in there highly like dependent on VR, which I thought was really interesting. The first being Donuts. It's like Mario Kart on water with animals in VR, which is so odd. When you just read through this article, the descriptions of these games is so odd, especially because of how many things they piece together. Mario Karts on water with animals in VR. It's like, dude, you guys, I kind of understand why these didn't get greenlit, because these games were obviously, just from the descriptions, were huge like niche properties or niche properties, especially like launching in VR. VR isn't a huge thing right now. I mean, obviously you've got the Oculus, the HTC Vive, and the PlayStation VR, as well as just fucking being able to do it on your fucking phone, I guess. But I couldn't see these games gaining a shitload of traction, especially because not many people, at least that I know, have VR. I mean, I'm friends with 90% gamers, and none of them even show like interest in VR. I'm the only one who wants VR, and even I don't have the money to pay for it, which is super. I mean, I'm gonna save up for it, obviously. The PlayStation VR is the cheapest, but yeah, there was Donuts, this super weird game about animals like fucking tubing, going down waterfalls and shit. It looks really interesting. I mean, there's like, I guess like a sexy rabbit character, where there was. That's kind of odd. She looks like Daisy Duke, which is just weird. The art for these games looks really, really awesome, and I kind of wish, even though there'd been niche titles, that they would have, that Boss Key would have been able to make these games, especially Dragonflies. I'm not gonna let that go. That would have been so cool. I'm so depressed right now. And last of the 3 that Cliff Bleszinski put out was Dog Walkers, multiplayer VR mech game where each player essentially controls a certain part of a giant fighting vehicle, which is super odd. Once again, like I'm saying, these are super niche properties, and the concept art looks really, really awesome for these, but I don't know how much traction they would have gained. I guess none. Now I really wish somebody would fucking do something with these, in my opinion, sweet ideas, but I guess nothing will ever happen with Dragonflies. Next story comes over from IGN. It's Stardew Valley gets a PS Vita release date, which is really cool. A lot of people are really excited about this because not only does the Vita live, but also Stardew Valley is very at home on the Vita, even though it's already on the Switch, but fucking Vita. I wish I still had my Vita. I sold it. I was just an idiot. I should have. I'm gonna rebuy it because I really like the awesome little blue cases. But Stardew Valley on the PS Vita is actually coming out May 22nd. It looks really, really cool. This is confirmed by the developer Eric Baroni. Concerned Ape, I guess, is what his like tagline is. I don't really know. It's one fucking dude made this game because of his huge obsession with Harvest Moon. That's amazing, let alone the fact that it's come out on every console, including Nintendo Switch and PS Vita now. I mean, that's fucking awesome. Good for you, and I'm glad this game is reaching kind of like meteoric success because apparently it's awesome. I love pixel art, but I don't know how much I love this art style, so I don't know if I'm ever actually even gonna play Stardew Valley. Altogether, it looks awesome. I'm glad that Eric is doing so well. Concerned Ape is doing so well, and I'm glad that this game is getting basically succeeding so much. I guess there's some more release date news. If you guys are fans of the Zone of the Enders series, Zone of the Enders 2: The Second Runners actually got a release date of September 4th. It's going to be coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR, and Steam in September 2018, which is really, really awesome. I played the original, just the first Zone of the Enders game, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I think that's kind of where I started my obsession with kaiju and large robots. It's probably why I also love Pacific Rim as well. It looks really awesome. I'm excited for this. If you guys are Zone of the Enders fans, make sure you guys pick this up essentially. And if you guys happen to want to play any Zone of the Enders now, you can pick up the Zone of the Enders collection, the HD collection that actually came out on PS3. It's really good. I have it on PS3. I really enjoy it. I guess it came out in 2009, which I didn't know, but that's cool. Over on Polygon, that's where I'm reading this article from. I guess Michael McWhorter just told me the release date of the Zone of the Enders HD collection, which is really cool. If you guys didn't notice, that was me forgetting to say the writer of this article and then trying to casually bring it up and then explaining it. So yeah, along with this just being an overall like HD remaster, it's actually going to bring a couple like new features to the game. Very easy mode, a pro mode, I guess some training shit, VR content as well. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I like Zone of the Enders, so yeah, make sure you guys pick that up on September 4th, or I believe UK or basically anywhere outside of the US, you're actually going to be able to pick it up on September 6th because that's its global release. But still, it's going to be releasing for $29.99, which definitely isn't a bad price. So I'm really excited. So for our last story of the day, if you guys have wanted an NES or an SNES, it looks like the NES is actually coming back in June. It's going to be on shelves beginning on June 29th and supposedly running throughout the year, which is really awesome because you only had about 4 to 6 months to pick it up originally, and it's going to be releasing at its $60 price point. I guess unless you want to buy it at fucking Walmart and make you pay like $160 or some weird shit. But $60 is not bad. The SNES Classic is $80, but it also comes with an additional controller. Anybody who's wanting to pick up the NES Classic, remember that it has a very short control wire, like this long for the controller. It's pretty crazy. You can buy extenders for it as well. So just a word of warning, but it's actually going to be selling, supposedly, Nintendo said, throughout the entire year. So I'm really excited about this. I ended up selling my Nintendo Classic. I bought it and then sold it. I did essentially gouge because I sold it for $100 instead of $60, but I really needed $100 because I wanted to buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some weird shit, a RuneScape membership, I don't know, a different video game, fucking Ni no Kuni, I guess, I don't know. I ended up selling my NES Classic, and then recently, like after I bought the SNES Classic, I was like, shit, I really wish I had that. That looked really cool up next to this one. So yeah, if you guys are looking forward to it, make sure you guys are looking out at your local game stores on June 29th. Obviously, people are going to be getting like stabbed over this thing, so can't wait to report on that because that's going to be awesome. These are still selling for like $300 fucking, which is just outrageous. Hopefully the prices online go down now that they're going to be re-releasing them. But I'm excited for that. If you guys are excited for any of these stories or anything I talked about today, leave me a comment down below letting me know about it. If you like this video, click that like button. If you disliked it, click the dislike button, the thumbs down button, you know what I'm talking about. But please, if you do that, leave a comment down below giving me some constructive criticism, and don't just like be an ass, because that's uncool. But that's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Hyde Legion to talk to me outside of the channel or in the comments, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day.